Good morning. It's January 4th, 2010. Welcome to another video about elm wood stoves, and this one's about wood stoves in general. This is an old farmhouse which we've lived in for about 25 years. It came with leaky windows, leaky doors, very little insulation. Over the years you have to pay attention to things like that, and gradually you can get the house so that it burns, the wood stove burns less wood and the house stays warmer. This is about a 2,500 square foot house. The wood stove mainly heats the ground floor, living room, dining room, kitchen, and a couple of other large rooms. And there was one room in particular where my office is, which was particularly difficult to heat. And people often ask me about make-up air systems for wood stoves. Make-up air involves bringing in outside air or basement air or air from some other place to provide the oxygen necessary for the combustion in the wood stove. I had never done this. I had talked about doing it. I have done it in the workshop recently, and I basically brought in a 4-inch diameter duct directly to right underneath the ash apron in the workshop, and it made a huge difference. That also is a very difficult space to heat, and I'm now able to take the temperature from, well, we've had mornings recently where it was 0 to 10 above, and we got the workshop up to 70 degrees within 3 hours. That's after having it be cold overnight. So I decided this morning to take a pretty run-of-the-mill register, which I bought from Lowe's yesterday. It's about 4 inches by 10 inches, something like that, the hole in the floor. And as soon as I punched a hole in the floor with a little skill saw, it's like the air was telling me, thank you for letting us come up and provide oxygen for the wood stove. A friend of mine is kind of energy conscious and scientific, and he told me a couple of years ago that basically the rule is within 2 to 3 feet of the stove you want to provide that air unobstructed so it can go right from the register to the stove, and all I have to do is put my hand down here and I can feel the rush of air. I mean, it is significant. If I took a match, it would nearly blow the match out. It's going there, right to the draft at the base of the door, and basically it is making it possible to heat this front room and stop the draft from coming in that front door. I've done some work to weather strip it and minimize the draft, but still it's continued to be a problem. So I think that's going to make a huge difference in that room and any other place in the house where there may be a leaky, drafty door or window. So I would highly recommend doing this. This was a simple one where I could simply draw the air from the basement. Some of you may have more airtight basements and have to run a duct to the outside, particularly with newer houses. And I talk to a lot of people about they're building super insulated homes, and basically their wood stove needs are simpler because the houses are far more airtight, but it's more and more important that they bring in the make-up air. Otherwise, like in one extreme situation, someone built a super airtight small cabin and had an elm stove to heat it, and basically they put in a 6-burner Viking gas or propane range in the kitchen. They neglected to put make-up air for that, so anytime they turn on that exhaust fan, they basically had smoke coming out the draft of the stove. So each thing like that takes air out of the house needs to have a source of air coming into the house. So more and more this is an important feature. Some stoves have a provision that you can connect the make-up air directly to the stove, but this is a basic situation where the air is provided close to the stove. It's not going to mean any draftiness at my feet or anybody else's feet as they're sitting or walking around the house. See the kitty sniffing it, she knows there's something there. So that about wraps it up for this episode, and I recommend everyone with a wood stove consider doing this. And it can be as simple as a $20 piece from Lowe's or Home Depot, and I think I did it in about 20 minutes time. Have a great winter. Thanks.